DSU rep, she is well aware of what this role entails. And if elected, she will work hard to make sure that the concerns of Hatfielders are heard on the bigger stage of the DSU. In the current environment of increased tuition fees and higher entrance requirements, it is more important than ever for Hatfielders to have a voice in the university as a whole, and have a DSU rep who will faithfully advocate your rights and interests. I believe Maria is the right person to do this. The DSU rep is traditionally the most politically minded of the JCR exec, and Maria is more than qualified to continue that tradition. Maria has had a keen interest in politics for several years, and she came here to study PPE so that she would have the best opportunity to engage in knowledgeable debate and dialectic about important issues. As an elected member of the UK Youth Parliament for a 2-year term ending this month, Maria has had invaluable experience of engaging with other young people of varied political standpoints and representing the concerns of young people in a professional environment. Maria was chosen to open a UK Youth Parliament debate in the House of Commons last year and has experience of sharing her views in broadcast media, so she will have no problem expressing her views and the views of Hatfielders to the DSU officers and other DSU reps. Maria has a genuine and strongly held social conscience, which has already led her to take part in a scheme shadowing her local councillor and undertake work experience on a children's services commission at Bristol City Council. I'll wrap up by saying, from a personal point of view, I've been a Hatfielder for 7 years, and I know what qualities make Hatfield special. Maria Neary's got all those qualities. She's got a huge amount of skills and experience, so I hope we vote for her for DSU. Thank you.
Can everybody hear me? Wonderful. Okay, first question. Being senior DSU rep involves a lot of work not necessarily performed in college. How would you ensure that you remain approachable to members of the JCR and you would keep the JCR abreast with issues happening over at DSU?
I think I'm quite an approachable person. If I was elected to the exec, I would also be an open day rep and a freshers rep. And I think that would help me engage with people from all year groups. I'd also aim to set up focus groups and forums within college, so with particular issues, for example, last year, the 38-week Lex, people could voice their opinions in a closed Hatfield forum, and then I could pass them on to the university.
Thank you. DSU is undergoing somewhat of a transition. What do you know of the long-term goals and strategy of the union?
The union's trying to become more representative. I think it's a 5-point plan they've developed. And they're trying to make it so the union is more serving the students. So not only is it known as the building over at Dunham House, but also provides the societies that we want and can provide an active student voice. Last term, Durham took students down to a protest in London, and I think it's all to do with an evolving and more active student voice in Durham, which I don't think the university is necessarily known for. I think that's a bit of a shame because I think people do have opinions, but hopefully the evolving DSU would help to cater for those.
Thank you. The position of senior DSU rep is unique in its need to balance a responsibility to the JCR and a responsibility to the wider student union. How do you seek to achieve this balance?
I think I try and listen to everyone. Of course, I feel like I'm there to represent Hatfield, but also to inform Hatfield of what's going on in the wider DSU. I feel that perhaps a lot of people in the university and a lot of people in college are lacking perhaps in that knowledge. And so I'd seek to inform people more about the structures of the DSU and how things work, because through that I think people would then understand how to get their voices and opinions heard to better effect.
How do you ensure fair representation of both the MCR and the JCR to the DSU?
I'd like to involve the MCR, as I said previously, in forum groups so they can have their opinions heard. I think I'm right in saying there's probably nobody from the MCR here right now, and I think that if I was elected to DSU rep, that would be perhaps one of my main challenges to make the MCR more politically and democratically involved in college. So I'd perhaps try and go along to the MCR events and mix with them more to try and get their views heard and for them to see me as more approachable and it not just to be a JCR role.
How do you envisage the DSU rep working in conjunction with the senior man on university-wide issues?
I think I perhaps would be there to inform the senior man of points that they perhaps hadn't yet considered. I think I'd be a representative role and also a consulting role for people in college. And the senior man obviously would be very busy with a wide range of issues. So for those which they want specific college opinion, I could perhaps garner that through canvassing and campaigning.
Any other questions from you there?
Yeah, one more from me. The student DSU rep heads a team of junior reps. How would you utilise them to do a good job for Hatfield students?
I try and appoint junior DSU reps as soon as possible. Ideally, I'd get 3. I'd hope them to come from all year groups, perhaps even from the MCR, to increase involvement. And then I'd appoint each DSU rep to one of the zone committees, which they could go along to and kind of observe. I'd also invite them to assembly meetings, so they would have a more active involvement in the DSU, and again, more understanding.
Any questions from the floor? Yes.
What's your opinion? What's your opinion on the new college allocation system, and how will you get involved with making sure it transitions well enough?
Personally, I don't feel that positive about the new college allocation system. I think it might destroy part of the college spirit and college pride. But also, I think an issue is that the colleges need to be more exclusive. There seems to be a stereotype, and I don't think that's necessarily very encouraging to some people who come to Hatfield and to other colleges in Durham. So what I try to do is garner a sense of college pride in Freshers Week. I think that's definitely possible to do, even with the new college allocation system. So I try to, I suppose, along with the exec, be an embodiment of Hatfield and show this is what we're about and this is what you've joined. Even if perhaps if you haven't chosen to join it, you're still a part of this.
Yes, Sam.
Will you try and move that house?
I actually think that there should be more events over in Dunham House. I'm not sure about Pound specifically. Yeah, Planet Sound, it's like a pub, no? Yes. Yeah, okay. But I think at the moment it's a really unused building. I know that's part of the development plans to try and regenerate it, and I think it would be really great to get people going in there apart from just at the Freshers' Fair. So, yeah, I'd be a fan of more events.
Any final questions from the floor? Amazing. Perfect. In which case, these are 2 minutes.
Okay. I ask not what my college can do for me, but what I can do for my college. I believe that I will bring something new to the Hatfield College exec. I am both enthusiastic and approachable. I am practiced at listening to everyone's views, compromising and negotiating, so be well equipped to deal with the management side of the exec. As a freshers rep, I would strive to build relationships with students from all years in order to raise the profile of the DSU and its role within the university. I would also aim to expand my presence within the MCR in order to be a better representative to all of college. I have a wealth of practical experience within politics. I have experience in canvassing, campaigning, and achieving practical change by lobbying decision makers. I am passionate about representation. My aim, as Senior DSU Rep, would be to expand upon and engage with Hatfield's student voice. Hatfield has a diverse and dynamic student body with a great deal of passion, but in the past has not been the most democratically involved college, and I want to try and change that. I would encourage all Hatfielders to involve themselves in zone committees and attend assembly meetings in order to get Hatfield's voice heard. I would seek to initiate debate and discussion about the DSU at a college level by implementing small forums and focus groups to gauge opinion on key issues. I would use the role of DSU rep to integrate the JCR and the MCR student voice within Hatfield by inviting both groups to these forums. I would then be able to convey these opinions to the university-wide meetings. Additionally, I would utilise social media, for example Twitter, to provide information on DSU events and meetings which would be easily accessible for both livers in and livers out. Vote for me for a dynamic, energetic and enthusiastic DSU rep.